everyone, Robin here from Spectacle Blue for another edition of our Teacher Tip Tuesday. Last week we talked a lot about not encouraging, in fact actively discouraging students from having equipment at home to train. And we went through all the reasons why at Spectacle Blue we feel that's not a safe idea. And so we talked a little bit about what can we have them doing. And so this week we're all about what can we have them do. I have been taking this time with my students to hone in on some of our problem areas. Yes, and the one that I want to focus on today is our pelvic placement when we are doing leg ups. So many of our students are struggling to get the legs past the 90-degree point. The reason for that is as soon as they start to lift their legs, what's happening is they're popping their pelvis backwards, which means they're actually disengaging those low abdominal muscles, getting a little arch in their back, and then they're wondering why their legs won't lift. Yes? Well, we're going to fix that problem by teaching them how to find the proper pelvic position. Yes, it's abdominal engagement, but the more we say, engage your low abs, engage your low abs, the less, and they don't understand what we're talking about, the more frustrated they're getting. Yes? So let's focus on what does that mean for us. And what's actually happening is the position of the pelvis is changing when we engage those low abdominals. So that might be a little bit more of a physical, visual cue that they can understand. It's happening by that engagement we're asking for, but it's a different way of attacking that problem. Because as soon as we can get that placement, they're going to find it easier to get their legs past that 90-degree point. So that's what we're going to focus on today, is starting to find that pelvic placement. Okay, I've got 6 exercises for you that are going to really help get us there. All right, so let's get started with those 6 exercises now. All right, teachers, phase number 1 is just going to be finding that placement while they're lying on their backs. So we're going to lie on our backs, okay? We are going to have our knees bent to start. And what typically tends to happen is we get that curvature in the lumbar spine, right? And we get a little space under our backs, okay? What we need to do is eliminate that space by contracting our low abdominals, okay? And when we're talking to students, they don't often understand what we mean. So I'm going to give you a few cues that are going to help them understand what it is that they're trying to do. Okay, so they're going to bring their ribs towards their hips. Okay, so that automatically tilts the pelvis. Okay, ribs are going to hips, and they're eliminating the space that's under their backs. Okay, and all we're going to do for phase 1 is find that position and hold. Okay, so ribs are going to contract to hips, and we hold that position with no space under our backs for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. What I want you to do with your students is have them do that 10 times. Okay? Then from there, they're going to just bring their knees up. Now, we don't want them too close to the chest. We want their knees and their hips at a 90-degree angle, okay? And then they're going to find that exact same engagement. It's going to be a little bit harder now, okay? So everything else is still relaxed, our head's on the floor. Our ribs are going to pull towards our hips, which is going to change that pelvic position. You can see it happening, yes? The space between their back and the floor is going to disappear, and we hold for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then they relax. You're going to have them do that 10 times. 10 times is a lot of work in the abdominals, and they are going to feel that. But that's what we want. We want them to really understand what that position is. Okay? Once they have that, then we're going to make it a little harder, and we're going to extend those legs. Round 1, I want their legs just going straight to the sky, all right? So I bring my knees in towards my chest, right? I bring them up to my 90 degrees. I contract my abs with my ribs coming towards my hips. It changes the position of my pelvis. Then I send my legs to the sky and I hold. 2, 3, 4. Have them check. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And release. Yeah? 10 times. Woo! 10 times, that's a lot. Each time you add a new element, they don't quit the first one. So far we have 3 progressions. They're going to do 10 of progression 1, then 10 of progression 2, then 10 of progression 3. We're not going to go on to the next one until we know they can do 10 of the previous one and add on, because that's going to give us maximum strength and control. Okay? Now from there, we're going to go back. The next 3 progressions are exactly the same as the first 3 progressions, but we're going to add a lift of the head and shoulders. Okay? So now we've added the top end doing a little bit of work too. Yeah? So lifting the head and shoulders, then pressing the low back, adjusting the shape of the position of the pelvis, and hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It just got a little harder to maintain. Then our knees come up. Progression number 5 is the same as 2 with the addition of lifting our head and shoulders. So we're going to get here. We're going to contract, bring our ribs towards our hips, pulling our belly button into the spine. It's going to adjust the placement of our pelvis, and we lift our head and shoulders. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes? 10 times, right? And then our third series is the same as our 6th, except we're adding a head and shoulder lift. So we bring our knees up to 90 degrees. We contract, so we eliminate the space, pulling our bellies in. Our head and shoulders come off. Then our legs go to the sky. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we get to relax. Yes? So there is our first 6 phases. Awesome. So there is our first 6 exercises we're going to work on with our students to help teach them how to engage those lower abdominal muscles, what our pelvic placement wants to be, not only for leg ups, but for all of our activities. This is where we want to be to have a healthy, safe place. So work on those for the next week or so. I'll be back next week with the next level of these abdominal placement and pelvic placement exercises. Have a great day. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. The sun is shining, and we are starting to talk about the end of this thing. So I can't wait to get back in the studio, and I'm sure you can't too. But in the meantime, stick with me and we'll carry on helping our students get where we need them to be when we hit the studio and hit that equipment. Thanks. Have a great day. See you next week. Thanks for joining us today, and I hope you got something out of today's teacher content tip. If you're looking for some of our other tips, you can head to our website at www.spectacleblue.ca. Click on the link for teacher training. All the videos are there at the bottom for you. Stay connected with us. You can subscribe to our newsletter at www.spectacleblue.ca. You'll get these weekly videos sent directly to your inbox. Go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. We are Spectacle Blue. Follow us on Facebook at Spectacle Blue Studios or on Instagram at Spectacle Blue. And if you want to know more about growing or starting your very own aerial program at your studio, I'd love to help you. Just contact me at info@spectacleblue.ca. Thanks. Bye for now.